Morning, everyone. My name is Paul Purdue, and I am a nerd, and you are not. And because you are not, you are here to learn a little bit more about Tabs3 and Trust accounting and its ability to process credit cards. Today we have Michelle Thompson joining us from TSYS to talk all about PayFlow Pro. I'm mixing
ProPay.
things up, aren't I? No, ProPay. It used to be called PayFlow.
PayFuse.
I'm all confused, and we're going to straighten that out. You have come to me, the confused person, to get this straightened out. Without further ado, I'm going to press a few buttons here. Based on my history of pressing buttons, we're going to hope that I press the right buttons. And I am going to turn over the presentation to Michelle so that she can start out on her machine and show us a little bit about TSYS and PayPro. And maybe, Michelle, you could start out by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Right. Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to the webinar, Paul and Leanne. And my name is Michelle Thompson. I have been with TSYS Merchant Solutions for 10 years. And I've been working with Tabs3 users for 9 of those 10 years. And today we're super excited because we have a much improved merchant processing program for Tabs3 users. And yeah, I'm very excited to answer any of your questions or give you some details about it.
Awesome. That's great. I will attest to the fact that it's much improved because we have helped people put the old system in, and we have since the new system was introduced, we've implemented it here and helped some other people put it in, and it is way easier to use, way more capable of doing certain things, and it's even I think the fees are even a little bit lower. And so
right.
If you can show the screen, if you're gonna show us anything like pricing and that sort of thing.
You know, actually, I apologize. I didn't prepare anything. I thought I was just, but I do have an email I can shoot out to everybody who is attending with all the pricing. And if you or Leanne could give me, their email addresses, I will send that out to them.
Sure. We will have contact information at the end of this because some people will be watching this in a recorded version. So
right.
We'll have an email address at the end, and people that want rates can email and ask for them, and we'll get that information to you.
Okay. So, and to explain a little bit further, so TSYS had a merchant processing program, and TSYS is our parent company, and we just transferred the new program over to a TSYS company called ProPay. And so if you see ProPay when you're setting this program up, it's the same company, but it just has a different business model than the old processing program. So if anybody has questions about that, ProPay is a TSYS company, and it's just they have a different business model. We thought it was a better fit for Tabs3 users than the TSYS traditional account.
And it also works much better. It's easier to use and
right.
Would you functionality we didn't have before.
Exactly. Do you want me to give them the rates right now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Tell them about?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the traditional TSYS account had PCI compliance. People had to go in and take a PCI assessment. There were some monthly fees and miscellaneous fees. This new program eliminates the need for you to take PCI compliance. ProPay is a PCI compliant company. The program is compliant and it's covered, and so you do not have to take that assessment. It eliminates that, and it has a flat rate structure. Visa and MasterCard swiped card is a 1.99% plus 25 cents for the transaction fee. If it's a Discover card and it's swiped, it's a 2.59%. If any of those cards are key entered where you're not swiping the card, it's a 2.89%. And then American
Still a very competitive rate.
It is very competitive, and the American Express rate is a 2.99%. Now, we do have a card reader that you can order. It's a flat $99 fee, and it plugs into your USB port. So if you think that you have the ability to swipe a card now and then, it's probably worth that $99, that one-time fee, to get the lower rates.
But if you're doing what a lot of our customers do, which is send out bills and then have people call to pay by credit card, you don't need the swiper.
Right, and still that key entered rate is very competitive. Again, there's no monthly fees. If you look at a traditional merchant account and you take the net effective rate, a lot of times people's rates are into their net effective rate. Their overall rate for the whole statement is 3% or higher. And so eliminating all those monthly fees, annual fees, these rates are very competitive.
Great. Now back to the is it PCI compliance? Am I saying that right?
It's payment. It stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, and PCI. So PCI for short. People used to have to go in and take, about a 20-minute assessment for PCI compliance and scan their network. And that was all eliminated by moving to this ProPay business model.
Exactly, and that's huge because for a lot of our customers that were doing that, for them it would take longer than 20 minutes because they weren't doing this for other purposes. They had no experience in doing a PCI compliance check, and they really had a lot of them didn't have the technical expertise provide the network scan, so they had to call somebody else in or have their IT people do it, and so it took a long time, and that's totally eliminated now. Is that correct?
Exactly, it is. That is absolutely correct. So that's one of the biggest, the biggest things that people are really liking about this program is that they don't have to do that any longer.
And another thing that's new, and I think it's because of this PCI compliance, or at least in part because of that, is that we can now store credit card and e-check information in tabs in an encrypted format for recurring payments. So that when somebody wants to pay their bill next month, we simply pull up the credit card information from the prior month. We can't see it. People couldn't see it if they looked at our data, but it's stored there and accessible for future payments. Is that also something that's new?
That is correct, and that is new. And the e-check functionality of the ProPay account will actually save you quite a bit of money as well. It's a flat 50-cent fee for processing a check electronically, and therefore, eliminating accepting debit cards. When you run a debit card, you run through the Visa, MasterCard rates and have to pay a percentage rate, and so it's a very very inexpensive way to accept a payment related to somebody's bank account. It's just a flat 50-cent fee.
Yeah, and more and more people are paying this way anyways, paying by e-check. So I think a lot of the customers of our clients, the people who are utilizing these legal services that they're paying for, are used to paying by e-check more and more.
Right.
We kind of got there, and that's new. That again is something that's new with this new service. The old service didn't have the e-check either, did it?
It did not. It did not. So this is a brand new feature with the ProPay program, and it's been a very big hit with all the firms who are signing up.
We use it quite a bit, and I'll tell you, it really streamlines things. And so now that we've got people's appetites slightly whetted here, let's press some more magic buttons. Go back to my machine, and let's take a look at what this looks like. Everybody should be able to see what is the client manager in Tabs. I should point out that this identical functionality is available for trust accounting too. And that's always been their Michelle, that's something that that really was offset thesis from the very beginning, was its ability to take trust account credit card payments and put them in the trust account without having the fees go through the trust account. The fees can still come out of the operating account while the money goes into the trust account. And that's huge, and that's one of the first things that, the reasons that I think STI and the people at Tabs3 Practice Master first partnered with Thesis was because of their ability to do that. So that's still there. And so everything that I'm going to show you now is something that is available for processing payments into trust, or available where I'm going to show it to you, which is processing payments into Tabs. So we've got a fake client here. It's one of our test billing matters. And they have a previous balance of $1. They also have a payment that's already in the system. So if I look at this WIP payment, we'll be able to see that this was processed by credit card. We can even view the credit card transaction information, the reference number, which card was used, seeing, of course, only the last 4 digits of the card. And we can even print a receipt after the fact for this WIP payment to produce and give to the client. I'll show you what that looks like. And so we now have a receipt that can come out with our payments, just like it's actually a new feature of version 18, and it carries through to the credit card transactions. But let's process a payment. Oh, I did it again. I did this just a minute ago, and I'm kind of click happy on that exit button. Let's go back into Tabs. Let's process a payment for this client. So here we still owe $1, or they still owe $1. We're going to go in, we're going to add a new payment, and we're going to do what we would normally do. It came in today. It's a regular payment. It's $1. Anything that you would normally do with a payment, you would do. You can, if you're doing an e-check, you can put in a check number. You can see everything down here. It's basically the standard payment window, but I'm going to say credit card. Now, you can say credit card right now in your Tabs payment window, and if you don't have this installed, you're simply memorializing the fact in the payment entry that you're using a credit card. But now that I have Thesis installed, when I save this entry, it immediately takes me to ProPay, shows me that I'm going to process a payment for $1, that the client is Attorney Computer Systems, that the description is payment received, thank you. And I can close this window, but I can also continue. And continuing will do a number of things, or provide a number of options. I can add a new e-check bank account, which is a matter of specifying a routing number and an account number that you enter twice just to make sure you got it right. I can add a new credit card or swipe a card if I have the swiper. So when I go in here, I can either manually enter the credit card or I can swipe it on the swiper. Again, specifying things like zip code, the 3-digit code, the card number, and the expiration date. Or I can see the e-check that we already have on file and the credit card that we already have on file for this particular client, seeing the last 4 digits of the checking account number or the last 4 digits of the credit card number. And I can also remove these. So if a client says, oh, I don't ever want to use that card again, I can simply remove it and add a new card. But what I'm going to do is simply say I want to process it against this. It warns me, because Mary Jo and I tested this yesterday, that the last payment that was done for this client against this card was $1. So it comes up and says, hey, you may be doing a duplicate payment because yesterday you did the exact same thing at 3:52 in the afternoon. And I'm going to go ahead and say, nope, I really do intend to do this. And it's done. That's all there is to it. I can see here that I have done exactly what I thought I wanted to do. I can close. It tells me that the payment was accepted. I can just close this window, or I can go to the print receipt button preview it or print it and see that same receipt that I just saw. So it's that simple. That's how credit card processing works in Tabs and in Trust accounting. Did I miss anything, Michelle? Was it? It's not any harder than that, is it?
No, it's that easy.
Now, what would happen if I wanted to delete that payment right now and it hadn't actually posted to my account? Would it void? Do you know that? This is a trick question because Michelle, do you know what Tabs would do?
Yeah, you can delete that payment and it will void inside of Tabs.
Exactly. I don't think that's new. I think that's been there all along. I may be mistaken.
Yeah, it has.
But that's kind of cool. Now, right now, it hasn't actually processed. It close? Actually, the batch closes tonight, doesn't it? Or does that process instantly?
No, it'll batch out. Okay. It'll batch out once per day.
Right.
And
that's what I thought. So
correct.
I can delete the payment, and it'll either delete it from the batch so it doesn't process, or it will void it if it's already processed. All happening automatically in the background. So very cool, very, very neat way of implementing it. And it's really kind of worry-free from a Tabs standpoint. So I think that pretty much covers it. It's very simple to install. Oh, I will tell you, the application process, Michelle, where do they go to apply for this?
Well, I have my own personal link. You can just go to the Tabs3 website, and there is a link that they can. And
I think it's just /PayPro. Is that correct?
I believe so, and it's.
Yep. No, it's not.
Well, it is in Tabs3 under resellers, and it says about credit card, or maybe it's under products. I actually don't. I have my own link.
But you have your own link. And what is your link?
I do have my own link, and it is. Sorry, I just closed it. I don't have it. It's long. ProPay-tabs3.com/signup/index/MA/ my last name, Thompson, THOMSEN. No P. Yep.
Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, you can take a gander at this while you're watching. This will be available recorded also if you're watching live. And that'll get you to a special page. And it's simple as filling out this form right here. Basically, you're telling it where to put the money to, where to take the fees from, which is usually the same bank account, who you are, and where you are. You do need to fill out an SSN, first, last name, address, and zip code for an authorized signer. And that's pretty much it. We did this while we were in Lincoln, while I was eating lunch, after the session that TSYS did at something called the Forum, where all the resellers meet up and learn things, and literally took me 2 minutes to do, and I had an answer about 30 seconds later. And not just an answer, but I had the number that I needed to put into Tabs to configure it. In fact, I was sitting next to Mary Jo. Many of you know Mary Jo, who works with us, and she and I had signed up, been approved, and had it configured, and had processed the first payment in Tabs while we were eating lunch in Lincoln in under 5 minutes, and that's huge. There's no more lengthy approval process. You get approved, Michelle, if I'm not mistaken, for a certain cap, and then if you need more, you can request that cap be raised.
Correct.
And I think that's just a matter of providing some bank statements or some credit card processing statements from an old processor. But that's also a very simple process. So it really has become streamlined. It really has gotten very simple to do, very simple to set up, very simple to sign up. So, and it's these are the cheapest, some of the cheapest credit card processing rates that we've ever seen, and we've worked with a lot of different clients ranging in size from 1 to 78 attorneys that are doing credit card processing, and I don't think we've seen rates that are lower than this, so it's also very competitive. Did I miss anything, Michelle?
No, I think that you've covered it.
Awesome, with your help. So I really appreciate your helping us out here, Michelle, and I'm going to back out here for just a second and show everybody that if they go to Attorney Computer Systems, with an emphasis on that last S in systems, .com, attorneycomputersystems.com, you can see simply by hovering over here or by clicking on the word videos, you can see all the different things that we have content for, including this Coffee Pot webinar series that you are currently attending a webinar under. Now, these are live events. The webinars, the 3 virtual user group meetings for Tabs, Practice Master, and World Docs. And so if we click on Coffee Pot webinars, we will find now information about next month's webinar, which is going to be about PenSoft Payroll and how it integrates with General Ledger, along with links that you can click to register for that. And as you scroll down, you will see recorded versions of past webinars. This one is currently in post-production. It's not even there yet because I'm still talking. But as we scroll down further, we will see more recorded webinars that you can look at. So if you're interested in the next Tabs 3 virtual user group meeting, you can see what the topic's going to be right here. We also have 2 pre-recorded series of videos. Mary Jo does 3 e-bites a month, and these are kind of short snippets of information about something really cool that we can cover in 3 or 4 minutes. And we also have a longer format program that we call the Paul and Mary Jo Show, where I or Mary Jo will take a broader topic and spend a much longer period of time explaining how it works and the ins and outs, 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes each for broader topics. So be sure to take advantage of this. You can also use the search feature if you wanted to find something on ProPay, for instance. You could search for ProPay. I think I have to spell it the right way. And get directly to the information that you want to find, or you can just browse. You can just go here and scroll through. We have literally years and years worth of recorded content with all sorts of subjects. So please take advantage of that. We put a lot of work into making that available to you, and it is there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's all I have for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day and a good rest of the month, and we'll see you next month when we talk about PenSoft Payroll. Thanks much. Bye-bye.